You're looking for a full body stretch, stretching for the whole body. That's good because that's becoming more and more important. We move less and less, sit more and more in front of the screen. You might notice it too, but there's a lot you can do about it. And what I'm offering you here are precisely the exercises that target the muscles that cause the most pain today. We'll start by taking care of our core because that's where the back pain is caused. Therefore, please get on all fours. Make your back flat. Bring the groin forward. Let your pelvis hang. Nice and groin forward. Tuck your feet as well. Then the stretch is a little bit more intense because there's one more muscle in there. And now the job here is to bring the groin deeper and deeper and breathe in nicely. Go into a very clear intensity that you notice very clearly, but that is still easy to bear without having to tense up and endure anything too negative. If this is new for you, feel your way slowly, but don't stay too soft because too little stretching doesn't have the effect we want. Breathe nicely and let the groin sink lower and lower as you exhale. If you feel the same pain in your back that you might know from experience, it's not a bad surprise. And don't think that you have to get out of there. But then you have precisely the proof that this exercise helps against this back pain. So, whenever we trigger the pain that we suffer from, we know it's the right exercise. It doesn't have to be triggered, but when it is triggered, it's a positive sign. Okay? Now pay attention. Now, with your knees and your feet, you want to push them into the floor. But watch that you don't move the rest of your body. And you tense more against the floor and more. And you let go. And you come down a little deeper with your groin. And again, in a moment. Again, tense the knees against the floor to get the muscles used to being comfortable in the greater length. Take the tension out and a little deeper again. Then slowly walk out. Briefly walk the buttocks towards the heels, please. And stretch out the back. And now we'll take our stretching strap, or if you don't have it yet, a belt or something else where you can fix your elbows. If you don't have anything at hand, just leave it out and make sure that your elbows are clearly stretched and firmly stretched. And we achieve this by bringing the hands outwards. And this forces the elbows to be fully extended. And then, with the sternum, please go deeper and deeper towards the floor. And also breathe more and more into this stretch. Again, stay at the intensity where you clearly feel it pulling. But it still has to be bearable. Come deeper and deeper and breathe nicely. Try to pull your sternum towards your knee. Then you will notice the stretch becomes even more intense because the arms are pulled out of the shoulder a bit. Deep in, deep out, and deeper and deeper. And now, please press your two hands against the floor. Press very hard. Release the tension and come deeper. This is a very important exercise to prevent shoulder pain, or even if you have some, to train it away. And press your hands down again against the floor. Let go of the force and continue to come down. And slowly back out. Swing your arms a little bit. Probably notice the shoulders are looser. By the way, if you want info on the stretching strap, please click there. There you can read about it, look at it. Okay? The next exercise is this. You sit down, and we'll start with your right leg. You're going to put your lower leg next to the right edge of the mat. Get your ankle as close to the floor as you can, but only as far as you can go, right? And your buttocks as far as possible towards the heel. But if it only goes up to here, you go up to here. And the third adjustment, pull in your belly button and go backward. And this is a very specific exercise that makes sure that a portion of your thick thigh muscle here, the thigh extensor basically, the knee extensor, goes over the hip. And it has quite a lot to do with back pain, knee pain, with hip arthritis, yes? So, tackling 3 causes of pain with one exercise. Very few exercises have that. But it has that effect. And that's why, with growing enthusiasm, you have to do that. You have to do that. You can repeat this sequence over and over again because these are the most important locations on the body that we're going through now. And that's worth repeating over and over again. Okay, and now press your right foot against the floor as hard as you want to stretch your leg, and then tense this all up. Do that as hard as you can. Really get some strength in there. That's strength training, what we're doing here. I think that's the most sensible strength training on the planet because that's making totally functional muscles, releasing and moving on to stretching. And then again, press your right leg into the ground as hard as you can. You can't affect anything negatively in the body, so only positively. Let go and go further into the stretch. And slowly come out again. The same, I forgot ankle pain is also eliminated, yes? Or making sure that they don't arise. And the same now with the left leg. Parallel to the edge of the mat, the buttocks, bring as close as you can to the buttocks. Pull in the belly button, and then tilt the pelvis like this, yes? Tilt like this. The retracted belly button causes the pelvic tilt. And you'll notice right away that the stretch here becomes much greater. Let's keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Always cheerfully on. That could be the saying. Go into the stretch nicely, but stay in the intensity that's not too negative. So if you ever have to get out of the exercise because you can't take it anymore, the intensity was too high. Yes? It has to be just tolerable. That's just the right dosage. Shortest time, best effect. Keep going if it still works for you. Otherwise, stay there and wait for the tissue to subside. And whenever it subsides, go in a little further. And then you try to stretch your left leg. Really push it. Really stretch your leg against the ground. Imagine you're doing strength training in a gym. Your body is the best gym in the world. Push against the floor. Push in really hard. Let go and go further into the stretch. And push again. Push again. Now, because it was so much fun, let's push again. Squeeze really hard here. Squeeze some more. Squeeze some more. Press a hole in the floor. Make a dent. The prize is a pink Ferrari, if you want one of those. But press anyway. You can paint it black or red. And press again, press, press, let go and keep going in. No one is allowed to watch us through the window during these exercises, right? Because they'll think, what's going on? Keep going into the stretch, and then we slowly go out again. Please post a comment sometime if you think my funny jokes are good. I'm always interested. Move your legs a little bit. Now, we've been practicing with the heels anyway, and now we're going into the double heel sit. Before, that was the single leg one. Now, we're going into the double. And now we do the most important exercise for freedom of the neck and freedom from headaches. Namely, left shoulder low, look 45 degrees to the left. The right hand goes over the head, a little bit toward the back. And now you take the chin to the larynx and pull your head toward the front bottom right, keeping the left shoulder nice and low. And then you'll notice this pulling at the back of your left neck. And that's the pulling that releases your head from your neck. We always call this the migraine cord because even if you have migraines, it may well be that you can get them under control with this. So you can remember, everything that has to do with headaches, neck pain, all of these stories will go away for the most part. Keep pulling them in. The left shoulder pulls deep, pull head deep, the back stays straight, and now start slowly and carefully increasing to pull your head up to the left, to the upper left, and hold it firmly. And take out the force. And stretch a little further. And again. Pull the head up to the left again. And pull even harder and a little bit more. Not jerky, but always increase slowly. And you let go and pull it down even further. And stretch a little bit. Use your breathing nicely. And slowly come out again. The same exercise on the other side. Right shoulder low. Back straight. Turn head 45 degrees to the right. The left hand goes overhead, slightly back. And pull the head forward down to the left. More and more. Until you notice it hurts in the back right of your neck. Keep the intensity of the stretch in the range that you can just tolerate. Yes, it has to be just tolerable. Don't have to counter stretch. Don't make a fist. Don't hold your breath. All of these things have to go very smoothly. So the rest of your body has to be able to stay relaxed. And your mind has to be able to stay relaxed. You just have to feel just a little bit more, and then it wouldn't be so easy to bear and just bearable. And now pull your head up to the right, pulling upwards to the right. A little bit more. And let go. And pull your head further down to the left. Use your breathing nicely. If you can't stand sitting on your heels anymore, sit normally or sit on a chair. Doesn't matter in the exercise. I always like to use many ways of stretching at the same time. And again, You're going to push up again with your head to the right. The shoulder stays low. Yes? Push up to the right. Or pull it upwards to the right. One should say better. And the hand presses against it and release. And continue into the stretch again. And then slowly come back out. Move a little bit freely. And if you feel good up to now, then I'd be happy with a thumbs up. Yes, and also share these videos so that other people can benefit from them. There you can do something good for your karma. And at the same time, other people feel good when they do the exercises. Now put your right arm back at your shoulder height and then 30 degrees higher. That's a medium height, which helps your thoracic spine and your shoulder with pain or not getting any at all. Then you put your left leg out, put your right leg next to it, and twist. And go to stretch. Now you notice there's a pull in your right shoulder, right arm, up into the crook of your elbow, maybe even into your fingers. And now you slowly go more and more into the stretch. If you are not so far into the stretch, you can also let your left leg lie in front of the right one, with the knee a little bit out, like in the stable side position. And if that works, you can take your left leg over and increasingly pull yourself into the stretch. Breathe nicely and feel how your right shoulder gives way. Now we're stretching a certain bunch of fibers of the large pectoral muscle. Many other fibers are also attached to it, but above all, the large pectoral muscle and the biceps are so short in most people that it's also in there. And with that, we do quite a bit against shoulder pain. And if you have breathing problems, or you're always walking in a bad posture, sunk forward like that with a hunched back, that helps to get out of it. And you feel much freer afterward. You have better breathing, and your shoulder is much, much looser. And now, you press your right arm as hard as you can against the floor. And press a little harder. And let go of the force. And continue to go into the stretch. And again, push against it, push harder against it, push as hard as you can. Yes, as hard as you can. But it still has to be bearable, right? It's always the basic rule that goes along with it. Press as hard as you can and let go. Stop the force and go a little further into the stretch. And then slowly come out. Always move nice and slow after these exercises. And then we'll go to 30 degrees with the left arm. Now the right leg goes out. And the left one lays on it. And you turn to the other side. Now you turn to the right. And the left shoulder comes into the stretch. You have to enjoy it. Yes, the whole body is just getting a feel-good treatment. Because if you do this routine regularly, you'll feel better and better. You can do much, much more, of course, right? But this is a wonderful half-hour exercise that contains the most important things. If you just do it 3 times a week, you will be surprised what happens to your body. Especially if you haven't done much stretching in your life. And now, we're going to press the left arm as hard as we can against the floor and increase a little bit more. Increase a little bit more. I see you. You can do some more. Come on, push a little harder. Push a little harder. release the force, and go further into the stretch. Go further into the stretch. And again, push harder against the floor. Press harder against the floor. Harder still. Even harder. A little harder. And let go and keep going into the stretch. Keep going in. Keep going in. Keep going in. And slowly back out. So now we've done the shoulders, and now we're going to go to the wrists. Quite a few wrists suffer from the wrist flexors and the finger flexors being too short. And that's why this exercise brings a lot of relief for carpal tunnel syndrome, tendinitis, arthrosis of the thumb joint, ganglion, tennis elbow, golf elbow, so you realize it's worth it. And you can do both hands at the same time. That's another huge advantage. And now you keep going backward. Go further and further back. And you feel the pain on the inside of the wrists. But hold it so that it's just bearable. Then everything is fine. You are just at the right intensity. I could say now, give a thumbs up, but that doesn't fit right now. Then we have to wait for one more exercise. And on and on, on and on. And now, please try to press as hard as you can against the floor with your palms and fingertips. Press as hard as you can against the floor. Take the force out, and then you realize, oh, now it's going on again. Here your body is signaling to you, accepted. It can be a little longer. I feel good. The muscles. And again, palm and fingers press into the floor. Press in really hard. Press in even harder. Letting go, go further into the stretch. And because it was so much fun, we'll press again. Yes? Palms and fingertips press in again. Press in again. Elbows are fully extended, by the way. Release and push in again. Now someone has to throw me the foot hero really quickly, the flat one. I've forgotten it. And in the meantime, please sit down. And now we'll do the following. Now we take the foot in the stretching strap or in a belt. And pull on the strap. Now I need the foot hero really quickly, please. The knee hero. Yes. Sorry. Just need a little, just the little one, just the little one, just the one, yes. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Because what I want to show you here is that when the knee is extended, the heel is usually a little high. Now you've got to get something under there. If you don't have the knee setter yet, then take a book or something, because now you realize, now the back of the knee rests on it and the heel rests on it. And you have to do the strap like this. It's a little hard on the neck, it slips a little. You can also put on a shoe, then it's a little better. And then you do that exactly so far under the heel that both lie on well. And now we first really pull the foot back to stretch the calf. By the way, you can see the knee hero, a part of it here. Click there, then you know what you can do with it. And first of all, get the calf stretched. Now that pulls below the back of the knee in the upper calf. Yes? That's where it has to pull now. Keep your body upright and pull your foot in to stretch the calf. And now you move your torso forward a bit. Then you notice, oh, now it's pulling into the back of the knee. And do this exercise like this. First, pull your foot in, then pull the body forward. The foot is fine, the knee is fine, the hip is fine. Everything depends on it. And you're less likely to get cardiovascular disease, heart attacks, and things like that. The Japanese have done a very exciting study. People who are reasonably flexible and can touch their feet have much, much fewer problems in that area than other people who are not so flexible. It's worth it, isn't it? You always pull the foot in and pull the torso in. And now we're stretching the foot, the forefoot, forward, and the torso backward. Forefoot forward, torso backward. Stretch properly. Really stretch. And stretch even more, and stretch some more. And let go and come forward a little more. And change sides. The same goes for the right foot. Always take the stretching strap, so when you're practicing barefoot or in stockings that the basal toe joints are involved, not the toes. Not that the pinky toe is stretched too much. The knee is fully extended. And now you're stretching the foot first. To increase the knee extension a bit more and secure it, you can put the other foot over it. Doesn't have to be, but it's an option, yes? And now you can press the left leg against the right leg with your arms. That is, the extension is secured. And pull yourself forward on the stretching strap and keep your back relatively straight so that all the stretch goes to the back leg line. That's the important thing. Yes, you keep pulling the calf in first. Keep the calf actively coming along as well. You're actively pulling the foot back and then reinforcing it even more with the pull on the stretching strap. This is a sucky exercise, yes? It's the least favorite exercise on the planet. But the least popular exercises are the most important exercises. The Japanese have shown it, yes? Always move on. And now, the foot wants to go forward, and the trunk wants to go back. The forefoot wants to go forward, and the torso wants to go backward. Make it stronger, the force, and even stronger and even stronger. And then take the strength out and go further into the stretch. Torso forward, foot back. And that should be enough. Slowly out. And for the last exercise, stay seated the same way, yeah? Sit down like this, feet together, soles of your feet. And depending on how far you can get, pull yourself up to here or pull yourself up by your knees. Or if you can't get to your feet in front there, take the stretching strap and pull yourself forward by the strap. And when you get to it, you grab and pull yourself further and further into the stretch with both hands. You breathe in nicely. Breathe in deeply. Continue on the exhale. And breathe in again. Continue on the exhale. And then you pull against it with your back as if you want to straighten up. Let go and continue forward. You stretch, stop that stretch, keep pulling forward. And this exercise takes out the last bit of back pain. If there was any before, because now we go directly to the hard tension of the back extensors, the result is a reaction, so to speak, to the shortening from the front. We're going to get those out now as well. And so that we are complete, we now take the head down. And then you stretch the lower back and the neck again in the middle. Earlier, we had right and left strands in the neck. Now in the middle. And now the torso wants to go back. The right hand is holding, and the head wants to go back or up, and the left hand is holding. And a little bit further into the stretch, and again, the torso wants to go back. Head wants to go up. Counter stretch. Take out power and further into the stretch, and one last time. Torso wants to go up, head wants to go up, and again, continue stretching down. And slowly come back out. Super good following along. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, 3 times a week in the beginning, I would do this exercise sequence to first of all oil everything in the body to get the rust out, and then see how it develops. And if you feel like doing more, if you have noticed how good it is to work on the whole body, please check out our explanation video about shortened muscles and fasciae. And if you click over here, that's where you subscribe to our channel.